thought I would come on and just set up my bullet journal with you. I got a few comments on the video of me flipping through this bullet journal with 6 months pre-planned, asking me to film my next setup. So it's currently January and I'm starting it now because I do it little by little so I don't have to sit down and do the whole thing. I do a little bit at a time if I'm feeling creative, so I thought I would just sit down, film it for you. Little disclaimer, I'm going to have different nails. I might have my watch on in future videos. I just got 2 new tattoos, so I can't put my watch on because I don't want it to rub them while they're healing. So I'll probably have different clothes on. You might see different sleeves. I will not be filming this in one setting, basically, and I won't be filming it in order. I'll try to put it in order when I edit it, but like I said, I do it little by little. I don't sit down and do it all at once, and that's how I can do my pre-planned Bujo. So I thought I'd sit down, do it with you guys, but if you notice different clothing, please don't think I'm weird. I just do it in little increments. So I have my January to June bullet journal here. I have my pouch with all of my supplies in it. I have my new bullet journal, and I have some things up on my desk and behind me, so you're gonna see me pulling in things from everywhere. I have some washi from various places. I have some Sunshine Sticker Co. washi. I have some washi stickers that you'll see. I have some Planning with K printables. I have some Studio L2E stamps. I'm going to be using my Versa Magic chalk ink. It's drying out pretty bad, so you'll see me, kind of, like, I'm going to be hard on it because it's drying out, so usually you don't have to do that. I just haven't gone to buy a new one because they're expensive. And I use my mild liners. This pouch is from Hobonichi. This is the 5mm dot grid stencil from Sunshine Sticker Co. It's four spaces too small for my bullet journals, but I don't care. It's really useful, and you don't have to like count the spaces basically. So I think that's it. I have a Tombow monograph pencil that I'm using, a uni pen fine liner, my Poppin ballpoint pen, and you're gonna see some Tombow dual brush pens in and out. You're gonna see a bunch of things, and I'm sorry if I don't mention them all. I'll try to have linked as many things as possible down below, but I thought I would just start and put on some music so you guys can just enjoy. And let me know if you have any questions down below. I'll see you at the end of her. Why, hello friends. It is voiceover me here. I will put music on for quite a bit of this video, but for some of the things I thought I'd come in and explain what I'm doing. So I'm going to fill in my color coding key and my bullet code first. And that's what you do. You break your front pages in before you get too far. So I do have my color coding in my Hobonichi drawer pouch in the back there. I have them in this order because this is the order that makes sense to me. They kind of go together. So for instance, the red is a holiday and the blue is a PD day, so those are both days off for me. Orange is an appointment, yellow is birthdays, and green is payday, and that dark purple is bills, so those go together. And then this like pinky purple is a special day, so like Valentine's Day, that's not a holiday, but it's a special day. St. Patrick's Day, like things that you celebrate but you don't necessarily get off. And I have my old bullet journal out for all of this. So for my bullet code, I think I kept everything the same. So like a dot is a task, an X is completed, the little arrow pointing to the right is if you migrate it. For me, I put an O as an event, and a triangle as an appointment, and a little dash as a note, a little star as a priority, and this one I never use, the little exclamation point, which is inspiration. I never use that, but if I took more notes, I probably would. But yeah, so there is my key all filled out. I love my Sunshine Sticker Co. ruler. It's my favorite. You don't have to count. And this next page that I'm making is my, what do you call them? It's a grid spacing cheat sheet. Now, I think I put way too much on this grid spacing cheat sheet. I wish I had have split it up into like a monthly one and a weekly one, because there's certain things you use for weekly, there's certain things that you use for monthly setups. And actually, for most of this bullet journal, for like July to December, I actually used a stencil and not so much spacing. I just used a stencil, and the stencil like fit. And it's just a stencil, Beauty by Starlight. You'll see it later. And that's how I've been making most of my weekly layouts, because I've been liking the vertical layouts. So I will link my video doing like a review of this bullet journal, this notebook that I have. It's from Walmart. It was like $4, $5 Canadian. And I did I numbered all of my spaces. So I number the spaces, not the dots. So I have 25 across and 38 down. So this one is 3 spaces less than my Dingbats notebook. So it's a little bit skinnier, which is fine. I think it's a little bit truer to A5 size. I think the Dingbats notebook, they call it A5 plus. So yeah, so I have my horizontal spacing that I do. I split into 4, into 3, and then into half. So into 2, I guess. And then I have some vertical spacing. So again, I do 4, 3, and 2. But I also did spacing for splitting it into 5 and into 7, which the 7 is for horizontal, and the 5 is also for horizontal, but the 5 is for monthlies as well. So like I said, there's a little too much going on here. I can understand it, and once I put in the color code, it makes way more sense. So like if I want to split it into 4, I color those all in yellow. And for my 3s, I do a blue, or not a blue, a pink. For my halves, I do a blue. And you can kind of see in my Dingbats journal, I have it underneath my arm there. You can kind of see my color coding that I do there. And that's so it draws my eye. And I put these big circles telling me what it is. So like a 4th, a 3rd, a half, a 5th, a 7th. So you can see that. Like it draws your eye to it, and it's all color coded. And I tried to do colors that weren't super similar, so I do a yellow and then a pink and then a blue. So like they're all really like there's a different color in between each of the similar colors. Does that make sense? I don't know. Like I didn't want to put a blue and a purple right next to each other, although I'm looking at it now and I totally did. Or I wouldn't have wanted to put the yellow and the orange right next to each other, because then it wouldn't have drawn my eye. Like I just tried to do contrasting colors. So yeah. And also I do all of these spacings if I'm going to start, like I do them if this is not going good. I did all of these spacings, all of the horizontal ones. I can either start from the left or the right, because it's not a perfect spacing, so you can either have it real close to the middle or close to the outside. And then same with the verticals, you can either start at the very top line or the very bottom line. So I did both of those options, and then at the bottom of each of the vertical ones, I put how many spaces there is, and at the right of the horizontal ones, I put how many spaces there is. So in my particular notebook, when I split it into 4, there's 5 spaces per, and then I put a space between every single split. Every single line has a space between. So divided into 4, there is 5 spaces. Divided into 3, there are 7. Divided in half, there are 12. And then for my vertical, divided into 4, there's 8 spaces. Into 3, there are 12 spaces. Into half, there are 18 spaces. And then when I divide into 5 for my monthly, there's 6 spaces. And for my horizontal layout, when I divide it into 7, there are 4 spaces. So, super complicated. I spent a shit ton of time on it, and I am not referring back to it a lot, which sucks. And I also split my page in half vertically and in half horizontally, and I put a little dot where my middle is, because I find I've been looking for the middle of the page a lot, so I have actually been referencing that. But I just haven't been referencing the other spacing, because I've been doing a vertical layout basically every week, and I've been using a stencil. So like we put these things in and then we don't end up using them, and that's okay. Like, I enjoyed making this. I had fun kind of using the analytical part of my brain, the mathematical part of my brain, which I don't use very often because I don't enjoy math and numbers and things like that. So, I got to do that. I enjoyed it. I enjoy setting up planners. Specifically, bullet journals have been my favorite right now. So yeah. And my mild liners smeared a bunch. I was using my uni pin pen, and I just wasn't giving it enough time before I put the mild liners on, and it was smearing, and I did not enjoy it whatsoever. Yeah, so I started getting out a scrap piece of paper and like trying to get the black off of my mild liner. So, oh, and I forgot to mention, when I first opened my bullet journal, y'all would have seen the vinyl that I had on there. I have like this pink and gold reflective, like hollow vinyl kind of thing. And I put a little rose PNG that I just like bought off of Silhouette, and I made a little vinyl of that. And I put my word of the year, which is pride. Although lately it's been progress more than pride, but I don't know. They're both pretty similar, so whatever floats your boat. So yeah, so I thought I would just come on, explain my little grid system and how it works, and show y'all that. And next, I'm gonna do my yearly. The stickers, the monthly stickers that you're going to see are from Planning with Kay. She has like a Bujo migration kit, and the digital one comes with both colors. It comes with like this cool tone with the pinks and the blues and the purples, which I thought matched my cover, the cover of my notebook, really good. And it also comes with a blue and green migration kit, I think. Don't hold me to that, but yeah. So I am taking my thicker uni pen, which I think is my 05, and I'm writing all of my Monday through Sunday. I do watch YouTube while I do these. I can't remember what I was. Oh no, I was watching Gilmore Girls while I was doing this. I was on a real Gilmore Girl kick. But yeah, so I take my 05 and I'm doing all my Monday through Sundays. And then I'm taking my 01 and I'm going to do all of the numbers. So y'all don't want to hear my voice for that. So I'm going to put on a little music. Enjoy. You can see Gilmore Girls in the back there. So I am now starting in on my future log, which I have now learned that I really don't need, especially since I have that year at a glance calendar. But because I have a pre-planned bullet journal, what I do is I put all of my plans in the monthly logs beforehand, like in my actual like calendar layout monthly log. I put all my plans in there. So I don't necessarily plan all of my weeks in advance because like stuff changes. I usually plan my weeks like the Saturday or Sunday before, but I will lay out my monthly layout completely. Same with my finances. I will lay out where all my paydays are, where all my bills are. If I have any special expenses or whatever, I will do the same thing in my monthly calendar for my budget. I will pre-plan. So if I was doing the bullet journal in the conventional way that people normally do it. Some people do it day by day, which I cannot do, and some people do it, they set up a weekly every week, and I can't do that. I don't have the time for it. Two, I don't have the patience for it. And three, I enjoy sitting down and doing these like batches of creativity. I enjoy sitting down and doing like a full month or a full 2 months or setting up all my collection pages or whatever the case may be. So I don't necessarily need a future log. I'm actually thinking right now about using this as a sleep tracker. I don't know if I will, but we'll see. But I went in and I hand drew all of those calendars again, which was torture. I didn't need in my life, you know. I love the way they look afterwards, but I didn't need it in my life. So, yeah. So I skipped right on. I used the same colors as the stickers, or I tried my hardest. I have 2 Tombos and a mild liner. I have like that bluish purple mild liner and then a light purple Tombow and a light pink. I'm gonna find the colors for you in a moment. There we go. So the 2 Tombos, the pink one is $7.61 and the purple one is $6.20. And I have no idea what pack that mild liner is from because I don't keep them in packs. I think it's probably from the, where is it? It is this one? I'm not sure. I think it's from the one with the brown. There's only one with brown, so I just kind of kept them the same color. So like July, the sticker is pink, so I put July, or I actually didn't put July in my future log because I don't need it. But like I started with August, I started it with the blue, and then September is purple, so I put it with the purple marker. And I have my Sunshine Sticker Co. number washi, which I love, and I actually ran out of like midway through making my, what do I call it? My school district pay schedule, and which I'll make next and I'll explain again to you guys. I've explained it in like my Hobonichi videos, but I'll do a quick recap again. But yeah, I ran out halfway through because I love these. I love not having to write the numbers. And, you know, at that point I had already written like 1,000,001 calendars, so I was over it. So I love this washi. I ordered 3 white ones, and then she has one with like the black background and the numbers are white, so I ordered one of those to try to see if I like it. So yeah, I love my Sunshine Sticker Co. stuff. Yeah, there's my empty one, and that's a full one. So, or it wasn't empty yet, it was almost empty. So this is what my future log looks like. It looks a lot like a Hobonichi index, I guess is what you'd call it, like a Hobonichi cousin index, except they don't have the calendar on the top. But I wanted the calendar. I don't know why. I really did make a lot of work for myself, but it's in there. It looks really pretty. And honestly, I will use it. Like before I put all of my plans in my monthlies, I'll put it all in here so I have it in one place. And so I can take pictures, because with my bullet journal, I like to take before the pen pictures, because once I put the pen in, I find it looks kind of ugly. So that's just me. I want to make pretty content for you guys. So that's how I do it. So these next 2 pages, again, are my pay schedule pages. So I am a supply teacher. For those of you that aren't in Canada, that is a substitute teacher. So I am, the way I explain it to people is I'm basically an extra teacher. When classroom teachers get sick, they call in a substitute teacher or a supply teacher. That is me. I don't know if I'll be a supply teacher by next year. I have absolutely no idea. I could get a call and have my own classroom by September. You know, I'm doing this voiceover in March. I did a lot of the filming in January, but I'm doing this voiceover in March 2021. By September 2021, I could have a contract and my own classroom. I don't know. We have no idea. But as a supply teacher, the pay schedule is about 4 weeks behind. So I just got a paycheck today. It's Friday when I'm filming this. I just got a paycheck today, and that paycheck, I'm going to actually pull it out so I can tell you guys, because I actually think it's closer to 3 weeks. So I just got a paycheck, and those days that I worked that I got paid for, this is Friday the 29th of February, so it's not quite March yet, jeez. And I just got paid for the last week of January and the first week of February. So it's about 4 to 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks behind. So I like to know what I'm going to get paid. So I actually have built up quite a log of like what I get paid for how many days. So like, you know, if I work 6.5 days, I know that I'm gonna get around whatever because I worked 6.5 days back in October, right? So I have that kind of built up. So that way I can plan my finances a little bit better because supply teaching is like it's so unexpected, like what you're gonna get. You literally have no idea. Like this is the week before March break, and I thought for sure that there'd be so many teachers out because they're exhausted. I thought for sure there'd be teachers out starting March break early, but in reality this week I only had half days. Even on Monday I had a full day, but it was 2 half days. I was one teacher in the morning and one teacher in the afternoon. Same thing with yesterday, Thursday. One teacher in the morning, one teacher in the afternoon. So it was all half days. So it was super weird for me because you can plan and plan and plan, but in reality, you have zero control over anything. So I like to know what I'm going to get paid, when I'm going to get paid. So I mark down like whether I worked a day or a half day or whatever, if I didn't work, if there was a snow day, like I mark all of that down so I can say, okay, well, these 2 weeks I worked 8 days. So on March whatever, I'm going to get paid for 8 days. And I can just have it all marked down and know what I'm going to get paid about, like approximately. And I color code it all. I'm sure you guys have seen this. I'll link my Hobonichi video where I actually like show it, where it's all done, so you guys can see that if you want. If you don't worry about it. Like, a lot of you are probably not supply teachers, and a lot of you probably get paid normally, where like you work 2 weeks and then you get paid for it the next Friday. It's just because our district is so old-fashioned, like they're not quite caught up to the times yet. So just adding a bit of gray. I like this to be pretty simple because I put in all of my rainbow mile liners, so I do like to start it off simple because it doesn't end up simple. So obviously this is a different day on a different table. I know, I started doing some stuff at my living room table. I don't know why my back doesn't get as sore when I sit on the floor at the living room table, but when I sit at my desk, I tend to be hunched over my little white desk there. And I think it's because it's low and the stool I sit on is like a bit too high for it. So I did switch locations. My back was starting to get sore. My neck was starting to get sore. So yeah. So I left a little note in my video that said, like, I haven't done those 2 pages. My cleaning checklist isn't really super working for me. And what was the other page? The when did I last? I actually haven't even done that in my current bullet journal yet. So I don't know if I'm going to do it in this one. So I just skipped them. I don't know if they're going to happen. I feel like they're going to turn into something else. So, stay tuned on Instagram. But I did put in my book shelf because I absolutely love it in my current bullet journal, and it's just super cute. I'm doing it a little bit different than the one I have in my current bullet journal. That's hard to say. I'm making it a little more decorative, a little more fancy, a little more fun. The one in my current one is kind of like straightforward, like shelf on top of shelf on top of shelf, and this one has like some different things, some plants, My current Bujo has some plants too, but I don't like how they look. So I learned from my mistake. I'm also making the books a little bit larger because for some reason the books that I read tend to have either one-worded titles or very, very long titles. So made the books a little bit bigger. I've got some bigger writing. I do write with a ballpoint pen. So, my big writing looks even larger. And I started making these books, and they got ginormous. Like look how big my pile is. And then these were the stencils that I was talking about. These were one of them. The specific ones that I have, I don't think are still in Beauty by Starlet's Etsy store. I think she has new ones, but like, you know, this one is a bookshelf. I think she has a bookshelf one that's made for the Hobonichi weeks. It would still work. You can just do it with your ruler. You don't need a stencil. And the stencil that I'm using for my weekly layouts came in this pack as like a A5 bullet journal pack. And I don't think she sells that anymore. But you'll see it. It's pink. You'll see it. But you don't need stencils. You can use a ruler. You don't even really need this Sunshine Sticker Co. one. It's just really nice to not have to count. Like, it's there for you. And it's got, it's actually got these sections, and it like tells you at the top how many spaces will be in the section, or how many sections will be in the section, sorry. But I don't really use that part. I just use the numbers on the left side there, and I use it as a ruler because it's flat and it can fit in the back of my bullet journal with no bulk. So yeah. So I've been talking for quite a while. I think I'm going to put on some music here. This one's fun to watch and just kind of, you know, watch. Do your own bullet journal at the same time. I learned really quickly that the book that stuck out, I needed to do the line that far because I needed to draw all these little tiny lines on my first little book stack, but that was okay. I did it. And then these slanted books, I did use the stencil because I don't think I could get that just freeballing it. So I do have a picture on a sticky note up there. I kind of did this for most of my collections pages. I found some inspiration on Pinterest and I saved them and I put them on my little sticky note template and printed them out on white sticky notes, and I have that basically throughout my bullet journal just as some inspiration. I just literally search bullet journal whatever on Pinterest, so I've searched bullet journal bookshelf and this is what came up, and I just really liked this one and I liked how it was like, you know, moved around and stuff. So I'm gonna stop talking and let y'all listen to some music. So for a lot of my bullet journal, I actually used these letter stamps. They are my favorite stamps. I think I bought them at Michael's on their like $2 to $5 rack that they have before the checkout. Maybe that's just something they have at my store, but I really didn't pay very much for them, but I've used them for years and they're just my favorite. They just kind of look like this typewriter-esque font. And yeah, so I use them a lot during this setup. And I've just got my brown Tombow here, and I'm coloring in my little shelves that my books are sitting on. I am currently doing this voiceover outside, so I'm going to apologize for any outdoor noise you hear, but I am not going inside. It is 25 degrees out. It is beautiful, gorgeous. So I'm soaking up some vitamin D outdoors, and there's some outdoor noise, and I'm gonna apologize for it, but probably won't go in. I think this truly is my favorite spread in my whole bullet journal, and it's one that I consistently use, which is really nice. Like a lot of my other tracker type ones I won't use, but this one I go back to and I look at all the books that I've read, and like it just makes me happy because I love to read. And yeah, so this one is one that I enjoy just flipping to look at, but also flipping to fill out. So I'm really glad this turned out as cute as I wanted it to. So because I love flipping to my book spread so much, I actually decided to put my goals and resolutions page beside it. I haven't written any goals or resolutions in there yet. It's not really something that I do. I feel like my life is very, I don't want to say like nomadic, but I don't really have like career goals that I have control over, like that I can do some action steps to like reach a goal with. Because I'm a supply teacher, I'm kind of just waiting for a teaching position to open up. So, I mean, I can get my foot in the door for like a bunch of schools, but at the end of the day, I don't have much control over it. So, haven't really written any down. I might make some goals for some other things. You never know. But on the next 2 pages, I have my period tracker and a self-care spread. My period tracker is something that is just kind of there for me for future reference. I don't, like, I mark in my periods so I can flip back and see them, but I track this. This is one of the things that I track digitally, my period and any symptoms of things like that. But I like the spread. And I like to be able to reference back if my doctor needs it or something like that. Drawing all of these dots was ridiculous. I did it with my black Tombow, and that made it a little bit easier so I didn't have to like keep going over it with my mild liner. But I like how it looks. And I did find this on Pinterest, so when you color in your period, you're actually coloring it in red and you're just making the circle a little bit bigger, and you can see it up there in the left-hand corner, and I just liked it. Like I said, I took a lot of inspiration from Pinterest and put it on those little sticky notes just to remind myself. And then I'm pulling out my favorite stamps again to write period. And I still, to this day, I'm doing the last of this voiceover in the middle of June. I still haven't done my self-care tracker. I've been writing down like things that I enjoy in my phone in a note, and I've kind of split it up. This self-care tracker that I have here on the sticky note is split into mind, body, and soul. So I've kind of been taking note of things that I'm enjoying, taking note of things that I'm doing when I'm stressed, and writing them down in my phone so I can eventually make this self-care tracker. So if I am stressed or anxious, I can kind of turn to this page and just kind of pick one and remind myself that there are things that I enjoy doing and that kind of get me out of my head kind of thing. So this next page is my workout activity tracker. I do have this in my bullet journal right now, and it's literally a year in pixels, but instead of doing 1 column, I do 3 columns. So I can track my activity, my exercise minutes, and my stand minutes, which is something that if you have an Apple Watch, you know is like your rings, basically your Apple Watch activity rings. So it's a year in pixels, but instead of having 1 column, you have 3. So you can fill out if you met your move goal, you met your exercise goal, you met your stand goal, and I literally just take
3 of my mild liners out of my color code, which is my red and my green and my blue. And if I meet that goal, I color it in. And it's just like really nice to be able to look back and be like, oh my god, look how many days I met my goal. Look how many days, like amazing. So I am now going to speed this up tremendously fast. And I just re-listened to the voiceover clip that I just did, and I'm realizing how sick I still sound. I did get a cold at the beginning of this week, and it is still kicking my butt. So I'm going to stop talking in my sick voice and give you guys some music to enjoy watching me draw all of these lines.
Will you call my name?
Start. No, we're not. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. I changed my mind. All of this, if I had... We're going to do this. Okay, so... As you walk on by... I'm going to take some of
Will
these
you call my
stickers.
name?
I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
So I put my little color key down below. Like I said, red is for your move minutes, green is for your exercise minutes, blue is your stand minutes, and then I put a black one for no data, because like for example in January I got 2 new tattoos on my wrists and I couldn't wear my watch for a good like 10 to 12 days. So obviously I didn't have any data because I wasn't wearing my watch. But I was working out, so I just kind of blacked that out, and for that one I wrote in white gel pen like tattoo over it. So sometimes I will like put the reason why I have no data, and I'm just taking my stamps and I'm putting move that body, work that body, and it's a song by Flow Rider maybe, I don't know, but put my little title in. I use these stamps a lot. I really love them. They're super dirty now though. After this setup, it's hilarious. So now I have skipped a few pages. I didn't feel like setting those ones up. That's kind of how I roll with these pre-planned Bujos. I just kind of set up what I feel like setting up. If it's, you know, if I'm in the mood for a challenge, I'll set up a more challenging spread. If I've already done like 4 spreads and I just want to do an easy one, I'll do an easy one. So this one is pretty easy considering I use stickers for most of it. It is my savings challenge tracker, which I used for a steady like 8 weeks in my old bullet journal, and then I just kind of stopped because I don't remember why. I just kind of stopped saving on a schedule, I guess. Like I've just kind of been saving when I can. But I thought I would put it in here if I wanted to do it and just kind of have it, set it up, have it. Rather have it and want it than not have it and need it, whatever that saying is. But yeah, so I'm just drawing some little shelves, and then I'm gonna get my mason jar, my empty mason jar stickers from Planning with Kay. There's a lot of Planning with Kay in this bullet journal. I would say like 85% of it is Planning with Kay stickers, and probably only like 15% of it is actually me drawing it or other stickers. I really am not an artist, and I think I'm pretty good proof that you can be not artistic and still have a beautiful bullet journal. I think my bullet journal is beautiful. I really, really enjoy how it looks and how it all came together. And I love using stickers, so like why not use them in my bullet journal too, honestly. So yeah, so I just got these jars. I put like 5 or 6 jars on each shelf. I only did it for half a year, so I think I did I either did 26 or 27 weeks, and I did the beginning 26 weeks in my other bullet journal because that's how many weeks I had. It was either 26 or 25. I don't have them on me currently, as again I am outside in this beautiful weather, so I do not have them on me, so I can't tell you for sure. But I put my jars on all my shelf, and then you see that space on the left-hand side that I left open. That is where I'm actually going to put like week 13, this is how much you save $115. Week 14, this is how much you save. And I just kind of check once I do that, and the little jars are for how much savings I have. So I don't just put like, if I saved 115 one week and then 75 the next week, I'll put 115 in the first jar, and then whatever 115 plus 75 is, I'll put in the second jar. I should have done rounder numbers than that. So if I save $100 the first week and then I save $50 the second week, I'm gonna put $100 in the first jar and then 150 in the second jar. So I add. So by the end of the page, I should have like how much savings I should have if I did my math right, which you know, doesn't happen super often, so yeah. And then in the jars at the top, I put 20, did I put 25? 25 week savings challenge. So my other bullet journal must have had 27 weeks. So I'm putting 25 in this one. And then at the end of the 25 weeks, if I use this for 25 weeks, I will make a new one in the back of the bullet journal for the rest of the however many weeks I have left in this bullet journal. Good math, wasn't it? I also totally forgot to mention that this was originally a 52-week savings challenge, but because my bullet journals run from June to July or to July to June, I run an academic calendar. I split them up in half because my last bullet journal was only 6 months. So this was originally a 52-week savings challenge. I'll try to remember to link it below if I can for you. I just found it on Pinterest, and it was the one that I thought I could do basically every week. And sometimes I don't do it every week. I do it when I get my paycheck, so I'll do it every 2 weeks or so. And yeah, I literally just I went on Pinterest and I typed in 52-week saving challenge, and this is the one that I liked. So I will link it down below, like I said, if I remember for you, and you can check that out if you'd like to. So after my 25-week savings challenge is my Enneagram page, but I needed to do a little more research before I did that one. I actually did just end up printing out a good explanation of the Enneagram and sticking it in there with sticker paper. So, you know, cut corners when you can in your bullet journal. If you can make it easier on yourself, print out the picture, honestly. But I decided to skip my way over to my 2021 year in pictures, and I did way too many squares for this. I realized afterwards, but then I'm like, oh, but if I have a month where I want to add 2 pictures like I had in March, I wanted to add 2 pictures this year, so I labeled them all, but I figured I can say screw it if I decide later to add more than 1 picture in, say, January or something, if I have a couple events that I want to remember here. So technically, these 2 pages are my 2021 in pictures, and then the next 2 pages are my 2022, but I do have a couple months of 2022 on these 2 pages, so it's really my 2021 to 2022 year in pictures, and it's really one spread on its own, but I did label them just because I could. Like I said, I like setting up planners. I do this for fun. I will set up random planners that I don't even use sometimes. And I am using the same colors that I used in my very beginning spreads of my year at a glance and also my future log. So I'm using the same colors as I used here. So July is pink, so I used a pink, and then I'm writing them in with the other side here. Yeah, so it starts, January 2022 starts in there. And then August is this blue color, and then obviously September is the purple color. So I just went in that pattern and kind of kept them that color. And I will go back eventually with my mild liner and make them a little bit thicker, because the mild liner highlighter tip is not as thick as the Tombow brush pen tip. And you can see when I add the picture there, you can just barely see the color. So I will just do that, and I'll throw on some music for you guys. So after those pages, there's a couple pages that I have in here for minimalism, and those are just for notes, and then I'm going to start straight into July. But before I do that, I decided to go back and fill out my index and just kind of put in all the pages that I know of so far. At this point, I had gone through and written at the very top right hand corner in pencil just what every page would be, and I also put in the dates so I wouldn't get the dates wrong, because I didn't want to be constantly flipping back and forth. So I did all of the flipping back and forth at once to make sure that I was writing all of the dates correctly. And it's nice to have this index filled out, especially since I do have quite a few collection pages. And then in years to follow, when you go back to like look at your bullet journal, and if you're looking for something specific, or even if you're not, it's just nice to have those pages indexed. So I wanted to come back, do that, fill it out, show you guys that I filled it out. So just a couple more things that I decided to add in. These I did way later. So at the beginning of this video, I said, oh, I'm gonna try to put these in order. Yeah, that fell through really quick. So I'm just kind of tracing this sticker that says goals and resolutions, because I wanted to put the stamps around it and behind it. So I wanted to see where it would fall so I could put my stamps in the right place. These little flower bunch stamps came from a set, and I think I either got it on AliExpress or on Etsy from a seller that like sells AliExpress stuff. If you are not artistic like I am, stamps are your best friend, and you really only need a couple sets. Like over time, obviously, like my collection is probably like, I don't know, 30 sets of stamps. So I have quite a few to choose from, but
I really only use like a few things. Like I use my wooden stamps, I use some of my floral stamps, and like some of my letter stamps. So if you get a good few sets of stamps, like you're set. And if you're not artistic, or you think you're not artistic, because in reality everybody is artistic, but if you don't like the way your art usually turns out, stamps are a lifesaver. I love my stamps. And the VersaFine chalk ink, I'll have as much link down below as I possibly can. If there's anything that I've missed, please let me know in the comments and I will try to get you that link. But the VersaFine ink is my favorite, and it doesn't bleed through, which is really nice. It's not super waterproof, which I don't love, because I would like to like watercolor over the stamping. If you leave it for quite a while, it's better. Like, it's not horrible. But oh, I remember this. Now, I did this quite a few months ago, so I actually had to rip up this whole thing because when I put it down, I didn't do a very good job. And it just wouldn't go back flat. So I actually crumpled it up, I threw it out, I printed myself out a new one, and that's just the moon calendar from Izzy Spencer. And this is the Enneagram type thing I found on Pinterest, which I thought explained it really well, and I'm going to try to do this one better. This one turns out much better. So usually what I do with my stickers is I take up half of the sticker backing, I place it where I want it to go, and then I stick down that half, and then I slowly peel the sticker backing off. And that's how I do those like big sheets. And usually, like, I'm pretty good at it. Usually that wouldn't happen to me where I bunged it up at the bottom there, but stuff happens. I printed off a new one and I stuck it in and it was fine. So my one complaint about this bullet journal is that every single page is perforated. I thought I would love that, but I have figured out that the perforation, it bends at the perforation, so some of my pages sit weird. And with the pages with stickers on it, I find the edge of the sticker where the perforation bends like almost won't stay down. So it's just kind of awkward when it's like laying flat, unless you have it open like at the very, very middle of the journal. Yeah, so I thought I would love that, but in reality, it's not my favorite thing. I will leave my review of this journal up in the cards for you if I remember. Yeah, see, like that. So it doesn't quite sit right. So yeah, I'll leave my review of this journal. It was like $4. Best $4 ever. Like, we'll never ever complain about that. But yeah, the page perforation ended up being not something that I love. I was going to put some washi down, and then I was like, "Oh no, I don't think it'll help." So I just kind of have been playing with the spine like as I've been working in this journal, kind of thing. So I put my Enneagram type in there. I'm an Enneagram 1, and I really like to know about that sort of stuff. So this year I've kind of thought maybe I will try to learn a little bit more about that. And then I found a post from Stevie D Plans on Instagram, and she had this spread for the Enneagram, and I thought it was really cool, and it just explained it. So I have flipped very quickly to July. I actually started filling out July. I think I was having a bad day, and I was like, I just really want to start filling this out. For me, setting up planners and bullet journaling and all of that stuff is really a mental health, self-care thing for me personally. And I started setting it up by myself just because it's one of those things that helps me take care of myself, I guess. And I think that's why I set up so many planners. So, So I pulled it out. So I did do quite a few spreads without you guys. I'm sorry. I did set most of it up on camera, but I just thought I would show you how I was setting up my weekly. So I turned the camera on. I thought I'd show you. This is a week in July, and I used this stencil, I think, for almost every week in this bullet journal, and it fits perfectly. And it's just Saturday and Sunday that I have to make a little bit shorter, and I still use the stencil. I just kind of move it around so it makes it shorter, kind of thing. I like the width of it. It's perfect. I don't have to do any counting. And yeah, so I have these washi number stickers that I wanted to use. I can't remember where I got these. A lot of these things I've had in my collection for quite a while. Some of them are new, but I went on a buying binge in 2020, as I think most of us did, and I bought a lot of things that were from various places. So yeah. This was like one of my very first weekly spreads, so I hadn't quite figured out how to do it where it was halved. I have it down packed now. I really have it so it'll work for me, and I don't really have to think about it. So yeah, so I just kind of drew the bottom and then took the top, so they just looked the same. I could have used a ruler, but they would have looked straighter than the other ones, because the stencil like it's not like miscut or anything. It just kind of is quirky. It's got like some rounded corners, and yeah. So I got all my boxes there. I don't mind splitting Saturday and Sunday. I don't usually put much in Saturday and Sunday. If you've watched any of my Plan With Me's, you know that we really don't plan for Saturday, because we want to have a day that we can do stuff. When we wake up Saturday morning and we're like, oh, we really have to do this in the garden, or oh, we really have to do this, we have to go get errands. There's a day that we don't have anything. And Sunday is always Sunday family dinner, and we usually don't do much. We kind of sleep in. There's my monthly and my first weekly. So yeah, I have this seashell washi that I bought from an Etsy shop years ago, and it's like the cutout washi. And then these little date numbers. These I think I got from an Etsy store. I have an Etsy store that I buy like all of my AliExpress stuff from, and I pay a boatload of money for it, but honestly, I get it all, and at AliExpress I don't always get it all, so. And then these are weekly headers from Planning with Kay, and I'm just sticking those in. Sorry if you can hear some background noise. The dog is here with me, and she thinks I'm, I don't even know, mad? I don't know. She doesn't like when we talk on the phone, and this is like me talking on the phone, so. Oh, and then these, I love these. It's been so long since I planned out July. These are something that I just got. They're like washi stickers. So pretty, like this nautical theme. Love them. I'll try to go back on Etsy because these are more recent. I'll try to link these because I just absolutely love them. And the shop that I bought from had a bunch of cool stuff, so. So yeah, I'm just going to put on some music, let you guys watch me set up this weekly spread, and I'll talk to you in a minute. All right, y'all, so that is it for my bullet journal setup. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you got it this far. I know it was like an hour. I hope you guys got yourselves like a snack and enjoyed it. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I will be doing a flip through of my journal because I have it all done. And I actually have July to June in here. And I set up a few weeks of this June 2021 in here as well. So I will flip through all of this. I think I have like 10 pages left. I did some washi swatches in here as well that you didn't see, and some pen swatches and things like that, just of the pens that I have. And it is in my Imperfectly Perfect Karma Chakra A5 Bujo sleeve. Just, it's absolutely gorgeous. I just love it. Look at it. Beautiful. So yeah, I will do a flip through. That will be up really, really soon. And I really can't wait to start this in July. I am starting my Erin Condren as well. This is my pen planner. This is my planner that I pre-plan everything. And my Erin Condren is my sticker planner. Even though I put stickers in this one too, it's just stickers beforehand. So yeah. Really hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Hopefully it is a flip through of this bad boy. Yeah. Bye, y'all.